I had to change pants real quick, and I saw these signs that I've been having to put up because I have a trespasser, and I don't understand necessarily why. I'm gonna make sure the next time he walks across down there, he's got a sign to let him know. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hunt More Official. Today I am headed to rearrange some cameras, try to pinpoint some big old bucks, because the season is like 69 days away or something like that. So before we jump all into the video, I want to let you know that we're going to be picking commenters off of our videos. So if you comment on this video, we're going to pick one of those and feature that comment next week. We're going to call that right now the John Boy Billy Award, because I could not think of anything else to name it. So John Boy Billy is the award name for commenting on our video and being selected by us. There's nothing specific that you have to comment. We're really just going to kind of pick whatever we feel is like the best comment of the week. This week's video, I'm going to show you a couple different spots that I'm going to target this season, and at the end of this video we're going to kick off a little story about a deer that I hunted last year. I've been feeding this deer all summer long. I'm still in the process of kind of figuring out how to hunt him, where to hunt him, but we are as close can be without knowing the right answer. That's all I can tell you. But stay tuned to the end of the video and we'll let you know about this giant 6-point that we call Wishbone. So without further ado, come with me. Let's hunt more. Alright, so here's the situation. This is spot number one. I've got a duck pond over here. I've got a bigger pond over here. Pond dam kind of runs north to south and falls down the hill, gets kind of thick in here. This spot to me creates a lot of edge, and there's a pond that kind of pinches in here, the big pond that pinches in here, and creates like a little travel corridor where these deer come from the neighbors. They cross through here and then kind of go into the heart of this property. If you've watched any of our unmanaged ground episodes, then you have seen this property before. Me and Jackson were here starting this little feed site, but it hasn't really turned into anything to speak about when it comes to big bucks. There's been a group of bucks that have passed through here once or twice, but nothing that makes us feel like we need to be hunting here opening day. So I'm going to take this cell camera with me to another spot where I think these bucks are probably at this time of year. There's deer over there. The camera that I've got there tore up, and every time I've been in there, all the antler bush is gone. So I know deer are eating it. I'm hoping those bucks are eating it. Use my filthy dashboard. I'll let you guys kind of see what I'm about to do here. I don't really recommend that you do something like this in your own pickup truck, but this is the side that we're going to access from. Basically just going to walk kind of right down this edge. The heart of the property is that direction, so I don't really want to walk through kind of where those deer are bedded at. I want to just kind of come right down this line, cut a straight line into my tree. That's probably my wife ringing my phone. Nope, Southern Insurance. Hello. Let's try to only make one trip. Sometimes it feels like I'm fond of making 2 trips. Yeah. Last time I came in here, it was just mongled, just tore to pieces. Yep, like this, like it is right now. Just gone. Heck yeah. All right, next spot. This one is somewhat familiar to me. It's got a little history of success. out of that old pine tree over there. This spot is kind of also made good because of the pond that pinches into these woods right here. There's a fence that swings around the back of this pond that causes deer to basically go left or right. The biggest thing that I'm trying to figure out is which side they'd rather bed on, this side or this side. Hopefully this cell camera that I'm gonna put up will tell me, because this one right here sucks. I bought it last year. 100% not recommended by a hunt more official. I'm gonna move that. So I know they can't walk behind it. I guess they could walk behind it, but. Now we're headed to Wishbone territory. Those first two spots that we just looked at, I don't really have anything to show as far as what's been happening there over the last few years, what kind of deer there, or anything like that. Like I mentioned in the Unmanaged Ground series, I hadn't hunted that place in years. The only thing I've really done on it is turkey hunt, and that's kind of been a good thing. It's helped me learn a lot about what deer typically or naturally want to do on that piece of property. So I'm kind of going into this year, now that I have a chance to hunt it again, I'm going into this year just basically using what I've learned during turkey season. Where the trails are, what seems to be bedding, what seems to be food, all that stuff. For those of you who are curious, a lot of that stuff you can see during turkey season, right before and then the early parts of turkey season. You can tell kind of what deer have been doing on that particular piece of property. So another piece of food for thought: deer hunt while you turkey hunt. Pay attention to what deer are doing on that piece of property while you're stomping around trying to slap a gobbler. Yep. But this spot is what I'm more excited about. I'm going out here to my 44 acres that me and my wife bought a few years ago. I've hunted it a couple years. I've had some good opportunities the last 2 years on it and just haven't been able to get it done. This past season I became familiar with a deer that I now call Wishbone. He's a big, old, mature 6-point, and I mean, he probably weighs 230. I saw him last year at the end of the season in a spot that I think he was kind of housed up all year long, and I just was kind of late to the game. I was hunting like 150 yards away from that spot and never really could pull the trigger to dive in there. Finally, at the end of the season, I thought, you know, what do I have to lose? Let's throw a camera out, see if he's down here a little bit deeper. Sure enough, 2 or 3 days after I put that camera out, he's standing there daylight at 3:30. Sad face. That was January 1st. For the next 7 days of deer season, I hunted that spot religiously, just about every morning and every afternoon, to try to run up with him. And on January 3rd, I did that. I saw him about 60 yards away, coming from his bedding area, just kind of feeding along this trail. He didn't have any care in the world to come my direction. He kind of had, I guess, in his mind what he was going to do, where he was going, and that's where he went. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I've been feeding this deer all summer long. I didn't have any pictures of him from probably January until about March or April, may have been even May, when I started feeding. But as soon as I put this feeder out, we started running antler boost. But that could have had something to do with it. I'm not going to say it did. This deer likes to live in this spot. But I put this feeder out with hopes of him being the main deer that's on it. And sure enough, he's been on it every morning, every night, just about all summer long. But I cannot find him in daylight. I've put cameras out at probably 3 or 4 different spots with no corn, no feed, nothing. Just trying to put it on trails to figure out how he's getting to this feeder. And I have not been able to do it. There's one last spot that I want to put a camera today. It's kind of back where I was hunting him most of the year last year. I think that that spot, the way it kind of sets up, would be a really good spot for him to kind of be passing through, traveling through, maybe even bedded up in. I would really love to kill this deer this year, especially early season. At some point, I can just imagine that his pattern is possibly going to change. He's going to switch from I mean, kind of every day here to being every day somewhere else and just passing through here. So I've got to make a move pretty quick. I would hope that it's gonna be like an opening weekend, opening week type deal, if we can find him. If we can find him. So I had to change pants real quick, and I saw these signs that I've been having to put up because I have a trespasser, and I don't understand necessarily why. There's no hard feelings yet, mainly because the property next to me just sold. I believe that's where he came from, but I'm gonna make sure the next time he walks across down there, he's got a sign to let him know. Sneaky, sneaky. All right, this is what I've got. What looks to be like bedding over here, all back up against that clear cut right there, is causing those deer to feed out towards my neighbors and then up towards a big cornfield next to me. So what I'm thinking here is that in the mornings we're gonna have to access this way. I think that's the only time you can kill him, in the mornings. I don't think he's coming through here in the afternoons. I may be wrong, but I don't think he's coming through here in the afternoons. That sun is near about shining right in the face of that camera. We're gonna try it anyways. I'd rather it not be shining in that camera. I think that's the tree. That's the tree. They're coming out of here or crossing the creek somewhere over here, coming in, and you can see the Y right there. They go this way, they go this way. It looks like they're going this way a lot more, but hopefully Wishbone is leaving that feeder and coming back down this way and going in bed somewhere over here. That's what I'm hoping. If that's the case, then we'll be able to access from that side, come in the way we just came in, climb up right in here somewhere, and be here waiting on him first thing in the morning. Oh, it sounds like a great plan, folks. If he'd just show up in daylight, if we could just find this deer in daylight. Look, now I'm about to go head up here and put out some trespassing signs. Dang sure we gotta bring a pen down here at some point. That's gonna wrap us up today. I appreciate you guys joining me on the quest to find this giant deer that I really hope we can kill come early season. If you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and comment on this video for a chance to win the John Boy Billy Award, our weekly commenting award. Comment with your best name for what we should call that award, because otherwise it's gonna be John Boy Billy. Inside is my shower, and that's where I'm about to go. Clean up a little bit, head back to the shop, and do my little bait and tackle thing. We appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out these spots with us. Stay tuned, subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.